People call this the greatest basketball team of all time, and the numbers back it up. But championships don't freeze time. Players age, lives change, and legacies take different paths. This is the 1996 Chicago Bulls, then and now. Michael Jordan, just 33 years old in 1996, at the absolute peak of basketball greatness. Now 63 in 2026, a billionaire icon whose legacy still defines the NBA. Scottie Pippen. Scottie Pippen was 30, the ultimate two-way weapon beside Jordan. Today at 60, he's a Hall of Famer whose impact is still debated and respected worldwide. Dennis Rodman, 35 years old, wild, unstoppable, and terrifying on defense. Now 64, but still one of the most controversial and unforgettable figures in sports history. Ron Harper was 32, sacrificing stardom to become a championship piece. Today 62, remembered as one of the smartest role players of the dynasty. At just 27, Toni Kukoc was the European genius changing NBA basketball. Now 57, still connected to the Bulls as a trusted basketball mind. Luke Longley, 27 years old, anchoring the paint for the greatest team ever. Now 57, living quietly in Australia after making NBA history. Steve Kerr was 30, hitting clutch shots off the bench. Now 60, one of the most successful head coaches in modern NBA history. John Salley at 32, a champion role player. Now 61, still in the spotlight as a media personality and entrepreneur. Bill Wennington was 33, providing size and toughness. Now 62, remembered as a vital piece of the Bulls' front court depth. Randy Brown at 28, the defensive spark off the bench. Now 57, later shaping young talent behind the scenes. Jud Buechler, 27, spacing the floor during a historic run. Now 57, but a three-time champion forever tied to Bulls lore. Jason Caffey was just 23, one of the youngest champions on the team. Now 52, part of the Bulls' legendary supporting cast. James Edwards at 40, the veteran presence in the locker room. Now 70, one of the oldest players to ever win an NBA title. Dickey Simpkins, 24, a young energy guy on a super team. Now 53, forever an NBA champion. Jack Haley was 32 during the dynasty. He sadly passed away in 2015, but remains part of Bulls championship history. Phil Jackson, 50 years old, masterminding the triangle offense. Now 80, the greatest championship coach the NBA has ever seen. Tex Winter was 74, the genius behind the system. He passed away in 2018, leaving behind basketball immortality. John Paxson, 35, former clutch shooter turned executive. Now 65, a major figure in Bulls front office history. Jim Cleamons was 46, part of Phil Jackson's inner circle. Now 76, and respected as a championship-level basketball mind. Jimmy Rogers, 53, helping guide the dynasty from the bench. Now 82, one of the quiet architects of greatness. New stars will rise, new dynasties will form. But the standard set by this team has never been matched. That's why the 1996 Bulls are still talked about today. If you actually watched this team play live, hit like, and if you didn't, comment the first Bulls legend you ever heard about. Now here's the real debate: was this the greatest NBA team of all time? Or has any dynasty actually surpassed them? Comment your answer, because basketball fans never agree on this.